All right, hello everybody, and welcome to the podcast, Stitches and Prayers, formerly the Yarny Goodness. I might keep both of them in the title so that they can still be found if people knew it as the Yarny Goodness and if they want to search it and look for it if they have not subscribed. But I do want to welcome you, and I want to welcome all of my newest subscribers. So I watched Devin of the McPurley podcast, and she reached 5,000 subscribers. And I commented that right now my goal is 100. Not expecting that in her comment section that she reads the comments on her podcast, she mentioned me and asked all of you to come over and subscribe. So to all of my new ones who came over, welcome, and I hope you enjoy my special brand of crazy. I am coming to you from Central Illinois, where today it isn't as hot as it should be in June. It's only like 75 degrees Fahrenheit for anybody outside of the United States, which normally here we're already in the 90s, and it's a humid, like feel it on your skin. Anybody who's from the South and knows the humidity that I'm talking about, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I'm recording on Monday, June 12th. Let's get started with what I'm wearing. Anybody who's watched the podcast knows this is one of my finished objects. I had to talk about it last week, and I hadn't blocked it, and it does lay a lot better right here. It was really stiff and everything, and I like the way that it lays now. Tree. I just got off of work as well, so I just worked a 12-hour shift. I might be a little tired. The Petrie. It's a free pattern. If you look it up, it's Petrie. I am blanking on the maker at this time. I forgot to write that down. But I have mentioned it in previous podcasts if you go back. And I think I linked it either one or two back. I linked it. And when I do the editing, I will link it in the show notes below. It is made in Knit Crate yarn. And it's this one right there. And it's in this color here, which is fatigue green. And unfortunately, Knit Crate is no more, so you can't order it. I'm sorry. But like I said, it's fatigue green. It's 100% Peruvian Highland wool. And it's sport weight. I made it in, I want to say, the 3rd size. I think I'll be making me another one in those. I need to look at the specs to see how much yardage it calls for. But if I do, I'm going to make it in maybe the size 2. Because, I mean, I've got a lot of play here. A lot of play. And I'm not happy with the amount of viewage there, even though, I mean, most of the time I don't walk around like this because hi, old lady arms, but when I do, I don't want to expose things. I did knit it with my Chawagoo red lace and the 5mm, which is a size 8, US size 8. I'm thinking about, and if anybody has any options on something different, post it in the comments below. For all of you newbies, I've only been a knitter for like 5 years, but I think I'm going to do some pickup stitches around here, you know, like right in this area to about the same in the back, and just knit up a little bit, some short rows to get a little bit, just I only need a little tiny bit. And maybe it'll tuck it in just a little bit, because that's the way that I would like it, right there. But yeah, I've got a little bit of playroom. If not, it would fit my daughter. Another finished object I have is my half half and half triangle shawl, which is only a half of a triangle. It's a half triangle shawl. I got done. I'm bored with it. If you've been watching the podcast, or if you've watched, I might have talked about it in the last one. I don't know, because of recording one over the weekend. There's no telling when I talked about it. And there's ice in my straw. Sorry about that. I paused you because I had ice that is frozen in my straw like this much. I couldn't take a drink. So anyways, this is my half and half triangle shawl, which is only the first half. I had of this light brown. This is all made of Knit Crate yarn. I don't remember the name of this light color or anything else about it. I had 4 hanks of it. And I was like, when I looked at it, and I did the math, that it was right, that I had the right yardage to finish the whole thing. Nope. So what might have happened was, I think I cast on more stitches than I needed to, because I think I cast on like 310, because I was like, because it's a long tail cast on, and I just cast on till I didn't have any more. I had like this much yarn left at the end, and so I think I did like 310, 320. That might have been where my math was off. I don't know. I flunked math. Ask my dad. I only said that because he's watching. But I don't have anything on this light brown. The dark brown here, a few episodes back, I posted something asking you guys for help. I had 4 different options, and the yarn I would use to finish this off with, and this is like 100 rows, because it was like 97, I think, is where I was at when I finished. So this is 97 rows, which took one whole. I made it using my Chowagoos again. I love my Chowagoos. 6mm, which is US size 10. Sorry, I didn't want to put my glasses on, so I made notes. It's the craziness. This is the Sierra colorway, again in Knit Crate, which is no longer available, which really made me cry. I really was upset. I'm a fairly frugal person, and so I do use a lot of acrylic yarn for my makes and my things. But I would splurge on Knit Crate and get me the 2 nice, nice hanks. So I'll have to find somewhere else. I've not found another place, a subscription that I like yet. So who knows? I know Knitting McPurley makes yarn. I know. I haven't tried it yet. I will. The last 100 rows of the triangle. And let me tell you, the thing is huge. And like, this is alpaca, and I don't remember what this one was. It's not as fuzzy, so it's gonna be some kind of regular wool. I know it's 100% wool, and I remember it's not superwash, but oh my goodness, look at this huge. It's a schlinket. Let's call it what it is. This thing is huge. And we don't even get that cold here, so, I'm thinking a hoodie and this thing right here, and I'm golden for wintertime. So, I'm excited. I have not blocked it yet, either. So, there's that. Because, everything grows when you block it. And this is the alpaca. The alpaca will. I'll have to make sure that I swoosh it and swoosh it and squish it into shape so it stays into the shape that I want it. So there's that. I do have one more finished object, but I'm going to wait and show you that later when I talk about Project Marvin. Project Marvin. I'm going to show you guys 2 works in progress today. So back last September, around the middle of the month, my baby, my youngest son, asked me to knit him a sweater. I said, I sure will. Find me a pattern that you like. So he found a pattern, and I started to do it, and I was like, no bueno. No bueno. I'm not liking the way that this is turning out. I don't know. Didn't understand it. So I said, nope, got to find another one. So he looked and he looked and he looked. And he couldn't find anything that he liked. And I said, well, I've got my Douglas. I have a Douglas cardi, and I've worn it on the podcast, which is an Andrea Mowry pattern. I said, look at this one. How do you like this one? And so he put it on, and he says, I like this. Go ahead and do it in this one. So I commenced the Chase's cardi. And this is a grandpa sweater, if there ever was an old man grandpa sweater. This thing is huge on him. My son is just a little bit bigger than me. You see this, right? So this is where I'm at. I have the whole back panel done. And I have both of the front panels done. And I'm just working on the sleeves. I have that much of one sleeve done. This is also, and I didn't make notes on this one, so glasses on. This is also made on 6 millimeters, which is a US size 10, in my red lace. I have the interchangeable set, so, but I love Chowagoo. My red lace Chowagoo needles. And I also, he's got little pockets. And they're done. All that's left is the sleeves and the collar. But I made the pockets. This colorful. This is Red Heart. I forget the colorway name, but it's Red Heart. It's like party time or something like that. And I wish, if I would have been thinking, I would have done the knit stitches on the outside instead of the purl bumps. Because the really nice pretty side is inside the pocket that nobody sees. But oh well. The purl side's pretty cute. Here's pocket 1. And here's pocket 2. And I'll even put it on so you can see the massiveness of this sweater. And I mean, it does have a collar that goes with it. But I mean, it's pretty large. And he's just a little bit taller than me. So, I mean, it hits... He's only like an inch or 2 taller than me. So, I mean, it hits about the same spot on him as it does on me. But, I mean, I can't even comfortably put my hands in the pockets. But he likes it. So, that's all that matters. So, this is going to be the next slog that I hopefully get finished here soon, that I'm going to work on and get done. I'm making it, it's out of acrylic because he does his own laundry, and if I give him something nice, he'll ruin it. So I'm making it out of Karen 1-pound cakes. I've already used one. This is the second one, and it's medium gray. So there's that. Well, the next thing we're going to talk about is Project Marvin. I named it Project Marvin. I don't know why. Everybody always called him Marv. I don't know why I chose Marvin, but I did. And if you've been watching, my grandfather, that I loved dearly, passed away in February. I made this blanket for him when I was 15, and I just celebrated on June 9th my 50th birthday, so do the math. But I made this for him when I was 15 and gave it to him for Christmas, and he loved it, and he took many naps with this blanket. He would take it back and forth with him to Florida. When they went to Florida, they went to Florida for a good 20 years. And this went back and forth with him to Florida. So after he passed, I was on the phone with Grandma. And Grandma said, Pam, would you mind? And I said, that's all she said. I said, no, Grandma, what do you need? What do you need? I've got you. I'm there. done. She said she wanted to make some lap blankets for the patients at the, what did we call it? It wasn't a nursing home. Rehab center. The rehab center. It was a nursing home, but he didn't want to go into a nursing home. He was adamant about that, so it was a rehab center that he went to. But she wanted me to make lap blankets. So if you've watched previous episodes, I've already made 5. And I was up there over Memorial Day weekend, and I took those up there to Grandma for Grandma to drop off. In last week's episode, I talked about my neighbor who passed away, and she had knit I don't have any of them right here next to me. She had knit all kinds of slippers. She had knit both halves. All I had to do was sew them together. So I have probably 30 pairs of knitted slippers that I'm also going to donate to Grandma for Project Marvin. So then I also have, when I got the slippers from my neighbor, there were also, I would say they're decent size totes. Acrylic yarn. I didn't have labels on very much of it. Nothing that I used in this that I have labels on, but I'm pretty sure that it's all acrylic yarn, like Red Heart and Loops and Threads, big box stores, Hobby Lobby. I noticed a lot of it was Hobby Lobby from the feel of it. Here it is. Here is side 1. I started with this blue down here, and they were all just little balls, and I chained 120. I want to say I chained 120, and then I just went until the little ball ran out, and I picked up another color. And I started this last Wednesday. This gray down here is like it's one of my favorites. It's like fuzzy. I don't know if it's picking up. I think it is. It's fuzzy. It's really soft and pretty. But yeah, I would just go until the yarn color ran out and then pick up another color. I just love the way that this one turned out. If I was in the market for a blanket, it might just stay here, but I have enough blankets. So, and then I just, so I half double crocheted this in a 5.5 millimeter hook, which is a US 9 or an I hook. And then I just chose, I had a lot of this green blue right there. And so I just chose it for the border. And I single crocheted around the edge. And Bob's your uncle, finished object. I did this, let's see, I said I started it Wednesday. I crocheted on it Thursday when I came home from work. And then I took it to the ball game with me Thursday, and I did it all day Friday, and I put the edging on it Saturday. So, there we go. Then, last night, I cast on, it's going to be a granny square, a scrappy granny square blanket. So I'm going to do the same concept on this one that I did on that one. I'm going to, I'm going to go until my scrap ball is gone, and then I'm just going to start reach into the bucket and grab another one out and go from there. I really don't try to put any thought into it. If I go and I don't, and I'm like, like I tried putting this one in my blanket here, and I was like, I just don't like it. I did like a whole row, and I'm like, no, I don't like it. And out it came. So that'll happen again. That's the one thing that I love about crocheting. It's so easy to rip back. When you don't like it, you're just like, yeah, nope, and it's frogging away. Knitting is not so easy. I really make sure I like it before I do knitting, because taking back is no bueno. No bueno. So yeah, this is my crochet. This is where I'm at so far. When I get off of here, I'm going to hopefully finish this one up. before I go to bed, because, you know, I work overnight, so no bueno there either. So, but yeah, I think I'm going to do Scrappy, and she did have some full skeins, which are in the closet back here. I've got a whole bunch of more yarn in there. But yeah, I want to have a few more made. I'm thinking my parents are coming down to my house in July, I think is what they said. So I would like to have 3 or 4 more made for Grandma to take to the nursing home. I'm sorry, rehab center. He was funny. Loved him, loved him, loved him. I talked about this in the last episode, that I have 9 of these that also came from my neighbor. She put all the work into making them. I don't want to make any more to make like a blanket. But what I was thinking is, I was watching the podcast. It's a Sarah. She loves granny squares, let me tell you. And so I'm thinking that there might be, I might investigate and see about making, I don't know, maybe a boho purse to where I sew like 4 of them. I know there's a way of making it to where it's to where they're on the bias like this or something. I don't know. I'm going to have to investigate. I have 9 of them. I don't mind like making 1 or 2 more. And I've got the yarn. I had the yarn in the thing that in the tote. So I mean, I have the yarn. I don't know what size hook. I'm assuming, and I mean, I know what they say about assuming, but it looks like it's going to be like a 5mm. My only ponder about it is that she might have crocheted tighter than I do. I might crochet tighter than she does. There might be a little tension issue, so I really don't want to have to make any more crochet granny squares. I really would like for this to be enough. But I have 9. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I have 9 of them. So I mean, I can take and do, you know, 4 and 4, and then just crochet and just do like a little boho bag and put a, you know, 1 inch, 2 inch. I can crochet that around so that, and then, you know, a strap. It's for a little boho purse, or just a little purse or bag, or I don't know. I'm thinking. If you have any ideas, drop them below in the comments section. I love reading comments. Love them. But I think that is all of the knitting content and crochet content that I have for you. Let's move on to our Bible verse of the week. So I mentioned earlier that my birthday was this past Friday, June 9th. And I've mentioned in videos before about how my mom passed away 2 years. She died in 2021. And so, I mean, I was feeling a little down, even though it was my birthday. I was feeling a little down because my mom's not here and everything. And so I decided I was going to look for an app that would give me, you know, a Bible verse for the week, so I didn't have to do that part of the search. So when I looked it up, lo and behold, the verse for the week of June 4th through June 10th was Isaiah 41:10, which was my mom's favorite Bible verse. I just thought that was my mom coming down and being, I got you, Pam. I got you. So, if I can get through this without tearing up too much, I'm a very emotional person these days, I will read it. And it says, oh, and I'm reading out of the New King James. I'm sorry, not the New King James. This is the King James. Rainbow Study Bible. And it says, fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed. I am thy God. I will strengthen thee. Yea, I will help thee. Yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. And then out of the Touch Point Bible, And it is the New Living Translation. 41:10 of Isaiah says, "Don't be afraid, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my victorious right hand." And down in the bottom, right here, it just happens to have, I keep feeling it here. There it is, right there. Sorry about that. It says, "Courage," Isaiah 41:10. "We are all quite naturally afraid when we walk alone in frightening places and circumstances, but we have more courage when we walk with a friend who is strong and walking with the Lord God, who holds the universe in his hands. We should feel free to be courageous. Consider what comforts us when we face the death of a loved one. Flowers, food, even the words of others are appreciated, but a greater source of strength is our friends and family staying near us, giving us those gentle touches and looks that communicate their sorrow and care. When we face troubled times, we must never forget that God remains close by, ready to supply us with his love and comfort. This gives us the courage to go on." And I can say that losing my grandfather was hard. Losing my mother was hard. But the hardest was when me and my husband lost our firstborn child. We were mad. We were mad at God. We were mad at the world. He was our baby. Knowing that one day we get to see Dakota in his reborn perfect body that God gives him, and that God has already given him. He's already there. Gives us joy and gives us hope. And that one day I get to see my little baby. And I just, the courage that I have never walked alone as long as I have rested in my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. He is always with me. And in the terrible times, he carries me. So we're going to go into prayer. Gracious and Heavenly Father, thank you for the day that you've given us, and thank you for the knitting and the crocheting and all of the new people that have come. Please, I hope that my words are your words and that you can speak through me to them and show them your love and your grace. And please, thank you for the wonderful words of Isaiah that I don't need to be fearful. I fear not, because you are with me and you are my God. Thank you so much for those words of I can't think of the word. You know the word that I'm meaning to say, and it doesn't come to me at this time, but you know it. You know the words before I even speak them. In your precious name, amen. And I will talk to you guys next week. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.